Some of the most commonly asked questions by Indian MS applicants revolve around funding and financial assistance. So in this video, I have tried to summarize what are the funding and financial aid options available to MS applicants. Now the first type of funding opportunity is a scholarship. Scholarships for MS applicants are generally merit-based scholarships. So when you apply for an MS program, the university evaluates your application for admission as well as scholarships. Most universities do not ask a separate application for scholarship, not at least while the time of applying. After you have been admitted, you might be asked to submit a separate application for scholarships, but that is in case of some universities. Most universities would make their scholarship decision along with your admission decision, and when they roll out an admit letter, they would also mention the scholarship that you have been offered, that is if you have been offered. If, however, you have not been offered any scholarship along with your admit, you can always email the university and ask them about the scholarship options. Generally, scholarships are few. Most students do not get these kind of scholarships. Do not get merit scholarships along with their admit letters. There are a few business schools that still offer these kind of scholarships, but most programs don't. There are scholarships that you can apply even after you reach the US, that is while you are studying at the university. There are scholarships for enrolled students, that is students who are already studying at the program. And again, those are also merit scholarships. These scholarships would depend on your performance in the semesters. So for example, you might apply for a scholarship in your second semester, and your performance in the first semester would determine whether you would be getting that scholarship or not. You can also check the university's websites. After you have been admitted, if there are some scholarships that you can apply for. There are also some additional scholarships such as say a leadership scholarship or maybe a women in tech scholarship, which are for select group of students. There are scholarships based on countries and regions also that universities offer. There could be a South Asian scholarship. There could be a scholarship specifically for Indian students. Although not many universities have these options, but I would strongly recommend that once you have been offered an admit, and once you decide to go to a particular university, check their scholarships page or their financial assistance page on the university's website. That will give you all the information about scholarships. Now, the most sought after funding option is a graduate assistantship. Now, this could be a teaching assistantship, which is popularly known as the TA positions, or an RA position, which is the research assistantship, or it could be a non-teaching, non-research assistantship option as well. Now, the advantages of a graduate assistantship position is that a graduate assistantship not only pays the student a stipend, but it can also come with a partial or full tuition waiver. In addition to this, some universities also pay for the insurance for the semester in which you have been offered an assistantship. So stipends for graduate assistantships also can vary anywhere between $800 to probably $1,600 to even $2,000 a month. Again, it depends on the type of assistantship, type of funding that is available with the department. They could offer you a partial or full tuition waiver. But this is not free money. You will have to work for 20 hours a week, and you are allowed to work up to 20 hours a week to get this funding. So if you are a teaching assistant, you might have to assist the professor in say grading papers or conducting help sessions for students up to 20 hours a week. If you are a research assistant, then you will have to work on some research project for up to 20 hours a week. So this is how the research and teaching assistantships work. There are assistantships that are offered in the non-teaching and non-research category as well. This would also mean like maybe say you are hired as a research assistant, you are hired as a general graduate assistant to do some administrative work for the department, or you could be hired maybe to do some website work for the department. It could be anything. But if it falls under the category of a assistantship, it generally comes with a much better stipend and maybe a partial or a full tuition waiver for the semester in which you have been offered this position. And that is why this becomes one of the most sought after funding options that students look for. So now, how do you look for these assistantships? Now, the best way to look for an assistantship is that once you have been offered an admit, and once you have decided that yes, this is the university that I would like to go to, or even you haven't even yet decided that, you can start contacting faculty at the departments that you have been admitted to, and ask them about these positions. Generally, a faculty may not offer you a teaching assistantship upfront because they would want to evaluate your knowledge in the subject for which they would want to hire you as a teaching assistant. But sometimes, if they feel that you have sufficient knowledge of the subject, you have done some good research in the past, they might offer you a research assistantship position. Now, the chances of you getting an RA or a TA position or any kind of a graduate assistantship are much higher after you reach the university. Most professors would want to talk to you, have a discussion with you, understand your overall skill sets before they make you an offer. So, I would suggest that once you actually have decided on the university, you can initiate the conversation with faculty about RA and TA positions. But the chances of that getting converted, I mean, you getting a confirmed offer from one of the faculty or from the department, might happen after you reach the university. The universities also on their job portals, that is their internal job portals, would advertise such positions. So once you have an admit, you might get access to this portal. Sometimes the universities would give you access to such portals after you have reached the universities, where you can also find out about what positions are available. These positions are not always advertised, so I would strongly recommend that once you reach the university, start networking with faculties, talk to them, understand what research they are doing, see if they have any open positions. You can also get in touch with some students who are working under these faculty. They might have a better idea of what positions are open, if they have more requirements. So this is how you could go about searching for an RA or a TA opportunity. And the third kind of option that you can explore are on-campus student jobs. As an international student, you are allowed to work up to 20 hours a week on campus, and these student jobs could be, say, working in the cafeteria or the library, or any kind of odd jobs that are offered on campus. Student jobs pay anywhere around 500 to say 800 or sometimes even $1,000 a month. The payments are not as high as graduate assistantship. So graduate assistantships, that is an RA or TA, are generally the first options. But if you don't get them, you can always try to do some odd student jobs. Student jobs also don't come with any kind of tuition waiver or any insurance benefits. The only thing that you get is a stipend, and the stipend is generally enough to cover your living cost. And before ending this video, I would like to say that when you plan for your whole MS, don't plan with the hope that you will definitely get some funding. You should plan in a way such that you have enough funds, maybe through your personal savings, funds from parents, or loans, that will at least cover the entire tuition and living cost. If you get any kind of funding, that is really great. But even if you don't, you should not run out of money halfway through your masters. So, with this, all the best for your masters. And if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch. Thank you. Thank you again for watching this video.